That's right,
How
Nicole
you
Danielle.
doing? So tell us a little bit about yourself and your book.
Okay, so I'm Nicole Danielle. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and have been living in New Jersey now for 12 years. I'm an educator, a special education teacher, and I'm also a self-published author of my new book, Broken Ballads, which was self-published last year.
Okay,
Well,
congratulations.
thank you. I'm also a mother of a 9-year-old, very, very creative and energetic daughter. And I love to read, I love to write, and I'm just looking forward to sharing my experiences with the world.
Okay. And what inspired you to write this book?
Well, there was three major circumstances that happened in my life about 3 years ago with three of the most important men in my life. Um, my father and my uncle were diagnosed with cancer,
Oh,
prostate
sorry to hear
cancer,
that.
and yeah, and I was also in the middle of a divorce after 11-year marriage. So that was a lot just to say, and you can imagine. But during those 3 years, I started writing poetry, and I haven't written poetry since I was 13, since I was a teenager.
Okay.
Poetry and the writing became a healing process to get through those circumstances.
Okay. Is this your first book?
Yes, it
First
is.
book. Okay.
Yes,
Are you writing a second?
I am
Nice.
currently.
Is it a
Yes.
part two or is
It,
completely?
it's a part two, and we may get into this. This book was more of a transition through healing from hurt and pain to peace and joy. And
Oh,
the second book will be about celebrating life, particularly Black women, Black mothers, and then just a celebration and a joyful experience is what I'm hoping for the second book. And that's how
perfect.
it's coming out.
Perfect. Perfect. That's nice.
I named it Broken Ballads because, quite frankly, my world was falling apart 3 years ago, and I was holding on to it for so long. Even everywhere, it just seemed like things were dying up and falling apart. And the moment I decided to surrender and let go, that's when I discovered there was beauty in brokenness. So that's why I have flowers, like a bed of flowers at the bottom.
Yes, I see.
So I had asked my illustrator, I wanted basically a picture of a Black woman, a silhouette made of musical notes because music really grounds me. I love music. And just a little backstory, I was raised in the church and used to sing in the choir and in groups. So music has always been calming and healing for me. But when I discovered or rediscovered poetry, that became like my new muse. So I asked to be the woman, the silhouette made up of silhouette. I'm sorry, I asked the illustrator to have a silhouette made of musical notes and have the musical notes fall apart and
Okay.
letting go of other people's expectations, the stigma of divorce, letting go of pain and hurt from cancer. And then once I decided to let it go, um, I discovered how there could be beauty when you let go
Wow.
apart. And the only way to look when you hit the floor is to look up. So like you can get
Nice.
up again.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of times, we do ask that question of why you chose the cover and the title, because sometimes it doesn't always, to the readers, it doesn't always make sense, but that's beautiful.
Oh, thank
That's
you. Thank
beautiful.
you.
You're welcome. I had a question. It was what has influenced you, which you have already answered. Now, had those three situations not have taken place, maybe all together, do you think you would have been inspired to write the book, or would it may have taken you a little longer?
Actually, a great question. Quite honestly, I don't think I would have gotten through this book as quickly as I did. It took me about 2 years to write the poems. In this book, there are 54 that made the cut, but I wrote over 150 but 54 made it that worked for what I was trying to do with this project.
Okay.
But thinking back on how everything happened, I quite honestly, I probably wouldn't have written the book within that time frame, I probably would still be writing,
Right.
because I felt like this book was a purging. Like everything that I was experiencing, I basically put in the poem. And like the 5 stages of death, I felt like, okay, I had family members going through that, but then also I felt like that with losing a marriage. I felt like it was also a death. And some of the poems, you would see me going through those different type of phases of denial, desperation, anger, and then finally getting to acceptance. So I think I had to live through those experiences in order
In order to.
happen. Yes.
Okay. So where can we purchase a copy of your book?
Okay, it's available on Amazon. It's called Broken Ballads by Nicole Danielle, and that's my author name. And then also, if anyone wants to reach me directly, I have hard copies as well that I can mail.
Okay.
My email is NicoleDanielleWrites@gmail. So anyone that is interested could reach out to me directly, and I could sign a copy. Or if you want to just get it from Amazon, you can go to Amazon directly. And the book is $20 when you check on Amazon.